Hello, welcome to Puzzle Master. Today I'm going to be showing you the solution for the Hanayama Radix puzzle, which means I'm going to show you the easiest, quickest solution to get in those big hook pieces disconnected from that middle connecting piece. And then I'm going to show you how you can reassemble it all back into its nice original shape. Now the Radix puzzle is a level 5 out of a possible 6 on Hanayama's own difficulty scale, and is a level 9 out of 10 on our Puzzle Master difficulty scale. If you haven't got the Radix puzzle already, then you can pick it up from our website puzzlemaster.ca, and without further ado, let's crack on with the solution. So here we have a fully assembled Radix puzzle. Now there's 3 bits, it's made up of 3 bits, 2 bits that are very similar and 1 sort of connecting piece. The 2 bits that are similar, how you can differentiate between the 2 is that one of them has the engraving Radix on the bottom, on its foot if you like, and that foot also is pretty smooth. It gets a bit wider as it comes down, but there's nothing of note, unlike on the opposite piece where there's a big ridge that goes around the outside. That's essentially how you're going to differentiate between those 2 pieces as we're going through. So the first move to solving the Radix puzzle is we're going to take out the piece on the right and we're going to flip it upside down into this position here. What we're then going to do is grab that connecting piece, slide into that loop using that little gap in there, and then we're going to turn it over and place the other circle in the connecting piece on top of that end of that hook piece in there. And that fits quite nicely, and then if you give it a little bit of a push, shouldn't need too much force, it'll come over the top of that piece and into this position. Then we're going to feed this piece all the way through that hole, and then to make the rest of the moves easier to see, we're going to flip over into this position here. And what we're then going to do is push that other foot all the way through this hole and feed that all the way through until we're into this position here. Now here we want that connecting piece to come round to here. What our aim now is to get these 2 feet through the opposite hoops in the opposite piece. And that should be nice and easy when this connecting piece is in the right position, which is at the very end of this piece in here. So if it's up here, these 2 pieces can then fall through each other nice and easily. And if we pull it tight, we end up in this almost comical moustache position here. And from here, we can sort of take stock, make sure we're in the right position. And then from here, we're going to feed this piece on the right all the way through. And we can actually separate that piece from here. So we're going to feed it all the way through into this position here. And now if we tilt the puzzle into this position, you'll see that this connecting piece nice and conveniently can slide over this piece here. And then once we've slid over that piece, we can then come into here and we're going to turn this piece into this position here. And we're going to do it by getting this hoop over this corner of that connecting piece there. So we're going to come over that corner and into this position, and then we can separate that piece from there. And to finish it off, all we have to do now is slide the connecting piece all the way through to the other side of that piece and just slide it off the end. And that is how we disassemble the Radix puzzle. And reassembling the Radix is probably a little bit trickier than taking it apart. There's a few places where you can go wrong, but we'll make sure we don't do that. First of all, we're going to start with the loop piece that has the Radix engraving that has no ridge. It's nice and smooth feet. And we're going to take the connecting piece and we want the flat part of the connecting piece facing down. And we're going to use the bottom loop to go over the hook piece of that. And then we're going to flip that all the way around and we're going to go all the way down to its foot down here. And we're going to turn it and hold it in this position here. We're then going to take the other hook piece and we're going to hold it like it's similar to the letter J, and then from there we're going to go over the top of this here, and then we're going to turn it so it faces down. And again, we just want to get over that bottom left corner into this position, because we can then, when we turn down here, push that and slide it through, and then we can go all the way around with that piece and we're back into this position here. Now there is a place here where you can go wrong. So in this position we should have the big hoop loop of this position, of this piece of the puzzle here, and this hook should be facing us relative to where this piece is. So the way that we go wrong here, or potentially go wrong, is all the way back here. Using that groove in that loop, we can sort of turn out and then come through and end up in this position. Doesn't look that dissimilar, but we want to be more turning this piece here, and here we can't get to that position. So we come back out, we turn, and then we come through. So make sure you're in this position before you attempt the next move, because the next move is impossible if you are not in this position. From here, we're going to push the two pieces together, and we want the connecting piece to go under the loop of the piece on the left. So we're going to push through to here. And then at the same time, we want the foot of the radix piece to go through this loop, and we want the foot of this piece to go through this loop at the same time. So we're going to turn, push those feet through each other, and then we're going to grab this radix, or the foot of the radix piece, and we're going to flip when we're in the right position. We're going to pull it all the way through and into this position here. Once we've done that, we're going to do the same with the other piece. We're going to grab the foot and we're going to pull it all the way through into this position here. Now, to make it easier to see the next move, we're going to turn the puzzle over, and then what we want to do is slide that connecting piece out and over the end of this loop. So we line it up, we get that piece in the right position, and when we're in that right position, it shouldn't take any force. It should just slip over the top of that end of the loop, and essentially we're back where we started. So here we've got that upside down position. We're going to take the connecting piece past that loop and onto the foot, and then all we have to do is flip this hook piece on the right, feed it back into its connecting piece, and that is how we reassemble the radix puzzle. So that is how you disassemble and then reassemble the radix puzzle. It's a very, very tough puzzle. It's hard to keep one piece still, or two pieces still, and then move one piece around exactly where you want it without one of the other two pieces, or even the piece you're trying to move, falling and moving and slipping out of position. So it can be quite a challenge to follow along to this one, but stick with it. If you want to pick up more puzzles, then check out our website puzzlemaster.ca, where we have the biggest variety of puzzles on the internet in the world. And until next time, I will see you later.